But cool, guys. Well, why don't we get going? We'll let Tim just keep letting people in, and feel free to use the chat if you guys have specific questions. The last meetup was great. I mean, we had like 40 something people. So one of the things I'm going to try to do with these meetups is try to spend the first half hour going over kind of what I would consider baby step things. I have a lot of fun Scriber friends on here, and it's easy for us to kind of get deep into the weeds. And so I want to ideally, I'd like these to kind of get like more and more complicated as they go. So I thought I would actually start on desktop just talking about how you manage photos. Because one of the great things about Scribeware is how many different ways there are to do things, but that can also be kind of intense. So photos can be kind of, there's just a lot of different ways to manage your photos and share them. So let me kind of review that. Does that sound good, guys? You like going over
Yeah,
photos
that's a
as a
good
good,
idea.
cool. Because photos come in so many different places. So can everybody see my desktop?
Yep.
Cool. So I'm inside of a job, and in general, over here on the right-hand side, we have all these little folders that can hold different illustrations and so forth. And if you ever want to edit these three dots will edit them. So here's my whole list of, basically folders. Most of these hold illustrations. There's a few unique ones. The PDF is where you can hold PDFs, so that can be particularly good if you want to attach PDFs a lot to reports, or if you're Florida and you've got 4-point and WinMit forms, you can put them in there. All the way at the very top, a unique one is local media. And then at the very bottom, there is report media, which arguably could be renamed, mobile app media. So this lower one is probably the most important. Anybody that uses the mobile app, that's where all of your mobile app pictures are going to
Mhm.
sync. So this mobile app one at the bottom, let's click on that one. And these are jobs that I took on my phone for home inspection. And so they sync with the cloud and come on over. This is kind of like Google Photos, right? This syncs with the cloud. So anything I put in here, I on desktop, I could see on my phone when I open up the job. So if I wanted to put something at like kind of that I didn't take on my phone into a job, the most obvious one to me is infrared pictures, right? So I have several different workflows. Like one way that you can put infrared pictures in Scribeware is you can use your infrared camera. I'm kind of I don't know about you guys on infrared, but I use one of these now. I'm like one of those guys that used to grab with like giant cameras for years, and I do kind of miss the quality of it. I still have a pretty nice one, but yeah, the thing was such a pain to drag around, and these small ones have gotten so much better and lighter and easier to manage. So in any event, I'm not tech savvy enough to figure out how to make it go from that device onto my phone's gallery. But that would be a cool way to get your pictures off of the infrared camera. But I'll show you how I do it. I just go home and plug it in when I get home, and then I hit the little plus mark at the top. So I'm in my mobile media, and I hit the plus mark up here, and this is kind of a backdoor to your computer. So now I could go down to my HIC micro here and click on this DCIM, and now I've got different folders of images, and I could scroll down and find a handful of images. We could just go to the bottom. You kind of get the point, but I could click that one and this one, and then I use the shift key to kind of highlight a whole bunch of them. And then if you hit open, it will actually dump all of those infrared pictures into the mobile media. And so again, that would now be visible and available on my mobile device once that's synced. So all those are kind of up in the cloud and now available on every device. If you're working as part of a team and you have a team member in the same report, they would now be able to see all of this media. So that's everybody with me on that? Kind of like basic workflows there for getting your infrared pictures in or any other pictures. So you can also use this one up here, this local media, and this can get kind of confusing because all it really is a backdoor between Scribeware and a file on your computer or a folder on your
Mhm.
computer. So if I click on this, it'll open up and there's a little folder here, and I could go attach something. So let's go under pictures and A-frame. And now I've attached these pictures. So that's kind of cool. I could go ahead and drag them in and use them. Anything that is in this folder is not backed up with the cloud. All this is a backdoor to my computer. Once I put the picture in the report, it will be backed up in the cloud and kind of synced. So what's interesting is let's close out of this report now. So we're in this play client report to just fool around with the report. And let's jump into a different report. I've been doing so much stuff I can't even remember what this, but isn't this confusing in a way? Like, because now I've got the same pictures showing up, and people are like, "Wait,
Right.
it's the
Yeah.
same pictures," you know? But it's really they're not attached to the report. They're just it's this same portal. Now, why this can be very advantageous is if you have a workflow where you're always doing infrared pictures, you could download your infrared pictures or your superscope videos or your chimney scan videos all into a single folder, and it's basically permanently attached, and you can just always like scroll down to the latest thing to
Mhm.
attach what you need. So it can actually be very functional and cool depending on your workflow, but it can also be confusing. So now if I leave that and I go into the report media, now there's nothing in here because I didn't take any in this job on my mobile. But I use my mobile media for pretty much everything. I kind of like that it backs everything up for me. But I just wanted to show what this one is and what it does because I do use this every once in a while. It can be kind of helpful. And depending on your workflows, that could actually be a valuable little tool to have. Cool. Um, any questions so
Dylan,
far? Yeah.
to let you know, I've been working on a report that I did today, and just before you got on, I was sitting here having to transfer iCloud onto my computer, but then you showed me what you just did. It's like, oh man, that's a whole lot easier, and so that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, good. Nice. Yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Edward. That's kind of why, like, I actually thought it would be good to go to basics. Like, there's a lot of workflows that you can have in Scribeware, and sometimes it can be helpful to create a new trail of breadcrumbs that can save you
Hey,
some time. So that's great, Edward.
you want to go out?
Oh, you, Tim, if you can help muting just if people, that'd be awesome. Thanks, man. Cool. So that's kind of basic pictures. Now, let me see if I could share my phone with you real quick. Wayne was helping me with another way to share, but I'm still trying to log in. All
Hey
right.
Dylan, did something change with the default on those pictures?
The defaults on those pictures.
So
What do you?
what one of my guys called last night and he of course like usual thought he lost everything, but it was going to the folder one instead of what used to be called mobile media. I think he changed the name of it recently.
It is possible that the guys like it should still be in the same place. I do think the icon looks slightly different, so maybe that confused him.
But
But I,
does it always open up to the folder option one instead of the mobile media? Or is there a
Icon looks
setting for?
different. The icon
that's a
changed in the last week or two.
Okay.
sit.
Yeah, and I don't think it's supposed to, but it is. And so that's something that's on my list right now of things to try to fix. I don't know why it started defaulting to the local media, but
Okay.
it shouldn't be. So we'll try and get that out on another update.
I gave everybody the word on it. I was just curious if it was purposeful or
Yeah,
not. Thank you,
I mean
Tim. Thanks, Tim.
it's not like a big blocker thing. Like you can just click on the mobile one every time. But you have gotten several people emailing about where my picture is because
And
it's
yeah, you
yep
guys know I got a much smaller version of all the same emails.
yep yep
Thank you.
yep.
Yeah, of course, man. Good to see you, Joe. Also want to say hi.
Thank-
Hugh from the UK is on here. Hey, Hugh. Good, great to have you representing the UK, man.
Hi, Dylan. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see my mobile device now. So let's dive into a couple other things and again, I'm just focusing on photo sharing. But so obviously, when you're in a job, how do you manage photos? So on the mobile app, the basic workflow is what I want to show to start. And that is if I'm not inside of a comment and I take a picture, the picture will automatically go to the gallery, right? So I just snapped a couple pictures. I'm going to use the X at the upper left to get out of the camera. So now I'm not in the camera anymore. Where'd the pictures go? So if you click on the little button just to the right of the camera icon. Oh, let's see, I must have a filter on. Clear tags. We should show that in a minute. Okay, there are my pictures. So that's kind of cool. And the reason we designed this workflow is I feel like as a building inspector or a surveyor, if you're Hugh in the UK, I often don't know what I'm going to say. I just want to document stuff. And then when I'm done inspecting, I'll figure out what I'm going to say, right? So I can just click on things or take videos and have them go to the gallery. And then I could choose a comment. So we could go under my siding, for example, and I'll go down to a comment, localized rot repairs. So I could select a comment. We could open it up, and then I'm going to click on the folder or the button just to the right of the camera icon. Again, that's the gallery, and I could grab all those pictures, and now it's like, okay, those are all rot repair kind of problems. So now they're in there. So another pretty cool way you can get pictures is if I had put pictures onto my phone's gallery, you can kind of swipe up. And so you see how you do that. So if you swipe up, you can like grab a picture from your phone's native gallery. So if you're doing sewer scopes and chimney scans or infrared, and you want to, if you are clever enough to get stuff from your device onto your mobile phone's gallery, it's pretty easy to share that way. So Tim, I think, likes to call this the photo drawer. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yep.
So anyway, that's another way that you can get media into your report.
Hey, Dylan,
Cool.
real quick on that.
Yep.
Pulling the pictures from the phone's gallery. I understand how to do that. What if I have 10 photos on there and I'm not sure which ones I want in the report? So is there a way I can upload them all without putting them in a comment? Just upload them into my film strip so I can.
Yes, that's a super good question. So if I love that question. So if you hit the gallery just to the, again, we'll click the gallery button, and then see the little boxes with arrows on them at the upper right.
Yep. Yep.
If you click the download one will back up all of your report media to your phone's native camera.
Okay.
So in that first one, the one all the way to the right, probably the second one, the one with the down arrow, you're going to take everything from that you took in Scribeware and dump it onto your phone's gallery. So
Okay.
everybody with me so far? Okay, I'm going to hit cancel because I want to do that. The next box with the arrow, if you click on that one, now you've got like a bunch of pictures. There's me wearing a mullet
With a
wig.
mullet. Yeah. Great.
And then you can click those. There is not a way to grab like a folder, so you do have to click them individually, I believe. Isn't that
If you
correct,
pick,
Tim?
Yeah, so you'd have to click those individually, but you would just like, tap across all of them. They would come in the order that you select them in. Um, and then Dylan, there's one other way that they added recently when you open the gallery like you have now. So if you open the gallery and then pull the report drawer up, from
Okay, open the gallery and pull up that.
the photo drawer, yeah. So you can click on them now and they'll go straight into the gallery without being attached to anything.
gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And so that's how if I'm doing like three or four, that's how I usually do it because I keep my photo drawer up across the bottom up all the time. And so if I'm wanting to put in a comment, I open that comment and click the picture. If I want to just put it in a general place, I go into the gallery and just start tapping them and they'll go straight in there. And then if I want to do like 40 of them, then I would use that button at the top and just click on each one that I want to put in there.
That makes sense. Everybody, does that answer that question?
Cool. Thank you.
Cool. Great. So that's some more ways. You can see why I wanted to just sit down and be like, all right, let's talk about photos because it's incredible all the different ways that you can like manage media and so forth. So the other
Can I ask
workflow,
one quick question, Dylan?
yeah, yeah, go for it.
My question is, so you can look at my phone's photo gallery at the same time I'm looking at the gallery from Skyware?
Well, yeah, correct. So if I click on the button to the right of the camera, I get Scribeware's gallery. If I swipe up that little arrow right above the phone, now I get my phone's gallery.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can all play with that, but
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that works.
yeah, isn't that
And,
cool?
and you
Yeah,
can
very
do both
cool.
at once.
You can do both at once?
Yep.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, no, great questions, guys. So the other workflow that I wanted to show you with media is that, and how the basic function of our mobile app is designed is if I choose a comment, let's go somewhere like bathrooms, where like to me, my workflow, when I'm in a bathroom, I can often choose a comment and take a picture. Like I'm inspecting, I find something and I take a picture. So this is kind of neat, but I can actually do most of my sinks and cabinets from these, whatever, six or so orange boxes at the bottom. So one thing to be aware of on mobile is when you long press on one of these orange boxes, it serves you right up into the comment. So let's say I found a slow drain. I can click on that and it, boom, I'm inside the comment. I did kind of a long press on it. Now that I'm inside of a comment, I've got three ways I could put pictures in. I could take a picture or multiple pictures or videos, right? I could swipe up and I could put in a picture, or I can go click on the gallery just to the right of the camera and we could get something out of my phone's gallery or the Scriber gallery. Does that make sense? So I've got three ways I can now attach a photo once I'm inside of a comment. Cool. Everybody good so far? I'd like a whole nother workflow. So the two workflows on mobile are you either you just take pictures and they'll go to the gallery, or you choose a comment and you take a picture and everything's nested with that comment. Okay, great. I sense silence as everybody's like fiddling with the app, which is great. I love it. Um, the other really cool feature that I wanted to show you guys is that we're really trying to optimize photo captions to bullets and voice to text. So let's take a picture. And now here's how I normally was taking a picture and captioning it. I would click on the picture. I would click or take a picture. Now I click on the little icon to the bottom left and open it. Now I click in the gray box and now I click on the microphone. So that was my old workflow for captioning pictures. I could click on that, caption a picture, and hit done, right? So that was, and it wasn't terrible. It's still a pretty good workflow. But now, now I can long press on the photo shutter button, and instead of, I don't need to click that thing there. It brings me straight to that box. So it saves me a click, if that makes sense. So you just kind of long press on, and you've got two workflows here. I can fire off pictures just quickly pressing on it, or I can let me get those into the gallery, or I can long press on it and it'll serve me right up to the photo captions place. And boom, I
Oh,
would show
that
you
is
using voice to
beautiful.
text, but when I'm zooming, my microphone is taken over by Zoom, and so the voice to text doesn't work. But did I get it? Did I get some street cred for
Yeah,
that? Was
Oh,
yeah, I
it's
like that a
beautiful.
lot.
Absolutely.
woo!
Exactly what I wanted, Dylan.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Tim and Jesse, who's never on here, but Jesse deserves a round of applause for that. And
Yeah,
Tim,
for sure,
I
for
thought it was
sure.
brilliant, man. I love that thing. I've
The
already
long press.
Yeah, so you just
Yep.
long press on it and it serves you right up. And you do have to put your thumb there to get your cursor set, but then you hit that. And I've gotten it down to where it's like it's almost instantaneous now. I mean,
Sure,
it's good, you know.
sure,
I mean, it's
sure.
funny how ridiculous it is, but like if we can save like, a second, it's like it feels so good, you know?
It saves you 5 minutes in a inspection, you
It
know?
does. That's right. Yeah, I mean that's kind of our goal is to keep shaving time off for everybody, right? So, cool. So that's another photo
Absolutely.
workflow that I wanted to share. Tim, I think this was a pretty nice overview of the different ways to deal with media and photos. Am I missing anything that you can think of or?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's go into one thing though. The gallery. Let's show some of these filters because this can get confusing. And like every once in a while, we get a call of like, "Oh, my stuff's disappeared," and it's often a filter could be on. So let's talk about photos and filters. So if I click on the inverted pyramid, this is kind of where my filters would live. So uh, I want to go over all these media, not media in the report only. So this is an interesting one that got brought up by I think a team of inspectors. But if you check that, you will only see in the gallery the media that has been used in the report, which is kind of a neat one. It'll get rid of the ones that you have not used in the report. Um, the next one is to show the media not in the report only. And that's the one that I use the most. And that way, as I use the pictures, they kind of disappear from my gallery. They're not gone, but they're in the report and I don't need to see them again. Because I don't know about you guys, but I usually only use one picture once. I don't use the same one multiple times. Either or both is fine. So if I click on that one, now I should have basically every picture available to me. Now, these check boxes below hide media marked as hidden. So let me show you hiding a picture. So let's say like, all right, I got all these pictures and this one and this one I don't need to see anymore. I can hide it. We very intentionally make it kind of difficult to delete pictures. Again, we really want to never lose data if possible. We've worked super hard to make that close to possible. And so, but you can hide it. And so, boom, now they're gone. Now you can see the little eyeball with the red eyeball. So if I want to make that go away, I can hide media marked as hidden, and now those will kind of disappear. So now I could, check on it and hide it, and now it's gone. Everybody with me on hidden photos and how that works in the gallery? Cool. So then this is really powerful. Sort with the newest media first. So I usually work like that, and that way the newest pictures that I take, but that's this checkbox here. I want the newest pictures I take the most accessible. Because for me, as I work, how I work is like I'm usually doing a lot of the report as I go. But when I get to the weird stuff that I know I'm going to do later, I would rather have that be at the bottom of my gallery. And so I kind of think about my gallery as so by the time I'm done with the inspection, all the low-hanging fruit I've already reported on. It's all like done and in my report. And all the weird stuff's just sitting there. And I got to go home and
Yeah,
deal
yeah.
with the weird stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's that filter. Now there is one other potential filter that I want to talk about. This is really powerful for teams. We got Bobby on here. We got Joe, Tiger. I know we got some teams on here. So team inspections, if you click to take a picture and you see the little tag at the top, and that's in between my 4-3 and that little timer button, there's a tag. So you click on the tag, and these are some tags that I have. But one of mine is Dylan, and I could add a different one. You can add a tag for each team member. So now I'm going to set Dylan, right? And I'll save it. And because I've set that, it's now yellow. What's cool is I could take a bunch of pictures. I can X out of the camera. I can go do other stuff. I can come back and notice how it's still set. I can take more pictures. But this is really powerful because if you're doing a big commercial job or something and you get back and everybody's pictures are jumbled together, it can be really confusing which ones you took and which ones somebody else took. So now we can go on the gallery and I can say, I only want to see the ones that I took, right? And then so I can hit done and now we just get the ones that are tagged by me. These tags do not print in the report. They're only visible to the home inspector. So this is photo tagging, and it could be used for other things. Like when we first invented it, we actually were thinking that it would be used where you could like quickly organize, like, here's all my electrical stuff, here's all my plumbing stuff. So if you look at some of my tags, oops, sorry, I hit the wrong thing. I have a bunch of tags that, summary items. Summary items is actually pretty useful. Sometimes if the client's not there, I'll just tag the ones that I want to do a summary with them on. I don't like review a loose receptacle with them. I just want to go with the big stuff if they weren't there. But in any event, you can use this for a lot of things, and I'd be curious if other people do. But primarily, I would use it for tagging the inspector that took the picture. And so, anybody else have any experience with tags using them?
I like using them on the multi-inspector, Dylan, but when does it get disconnected, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it? I've seen it drop on me sometimes.
Yeah, probably if like I just disconnected it. So you do need to make sure it stays on, but I did manually connect it. So it should stay connected, I think, until I mean, Tim, you might know a little better than me, but to my knowledge is it would only get disconnected if you manually disconnected it.
And the key would be to see the next to the tag, that yellow ×1,
Yeah,
right?
you want to see that yellow on there. Yep.
All right. And
Oh, good.
I failed the long press trick. Can you show it one more time? Sorry to bother everybody with that,
Yeah,
but
so again, short press I'll do. You just click and click and click, and that's just rapid fire pictures. Now I'll X
yeah.
out of it. I'll bring it in again. Long press, and it just serves you right up to that screen where you can tap on that and hit the microphone.
Huh. I'm not
Does
getting it,
that
so I
only
won't bore
work?
everybody.
It's
I'm
possible that some of you guys might not be updated. Tim might know where this is at. Maybe this is only in beta. I get kind of I lose track of like what everybody has and what I have.
I have it, but I am in beta, but I just checked it out.
Okay.
I do
Yeah,
have it.
it might still be in beta, Joe, if you don't have it, man.
I
Oh
think it
man.
That's
went out
good.
like a couple days ago.
Is that right?
Like
Okay.
there's a pretty recent live update, and so yeah, it should be out to everybody. But
I'll run the update. I'm happy to know it's not operator error.
Nice, man. Let me know if you get it because it's
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's
It
really
works on
just I've been
mine.
playing with it. It's working really great.
yeah, I've been loving it too. It's cool you like it, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be using it in the morning. I'm so excited now.
It's like a
Isn't
whole
that
new
weird?
reason to go to work. I know.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
funny.
Dylan,
Yeah.
do you know, does that only work if you're in an observation? Like if you were just in a, I don't know what you call this, where you are
No,
right
it
now?
should
No.
work no matter what. So it should work
Maybe I'm not
either
updated.
anywhere you take a picture. If you click on it, it'll serve you right up to that, you know. So yeah, if you're
Okay.
not getting it, look for an update, and then if you're still not getting it, then I don't know, reach out to us and let us know. But it's possible that it's only on beta, but I thought it was released to everybody, Tim. So
I'm on version 6.180.301,
okay,
which like I said, I'm on beta. I don't know what you all are on, but
Yeah, I'm not beta, and it's working on mine.
okay.
okay.
So
It
check for
works
up.
for me. It works for me if I'm in an observation, but not if I'm not in an observation. So
Oh,
I'll
really?
play with it later.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll play
well,
with
you
it
can
later.
fiddle around with it. Okay, so we got photo tags. Anybody have any photo tags question? Particularly good for teams, so that's good to know. What other photo? There was one other photo thing I think I wanted to show in the gallery, maybe. I think I got through all of those. So, okay, those I got through the filters. Oh, I know what I wanted to show is uh Oh yeah. So I like to use the 4:3 for pictures, but it usually your camera would default to auto. But 4:3 serves me up nice square pictures that I think if you end up printing a report and you have long pictures, it's surprising how much paper you end up going through. So anyway, you're welcome to play with it, see what you like, but I just like that 4:3 mode myself. And
While you're looking for that, Dylan, I have a
yeah,
question on the tags.
oh sure. Go for it, Joe. Was it Joe, I think? I couldn't quite see
Oh,
who
for
was
some
asking.
reason I can't hear you. But my question was, you you said sometimes you set things aside, you take pictures in a certain order. Well, sometimes I do the same thing, only I want to look at these pictures later on. Could I set a tag on that and say uh, 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 dirty corner of the basement or whatever, or just put bad part of the basement and just set that aside with that tag and then retrieve that later when I have time to go through it?
The tags, I don't think the tags are set quite for what you want. I think what you want for that is flagging. And so let me give you maybe an example, but like let's say you're in the basement and you don't have a comment, you don't know what you're going to say. And I might be misconstruing you here, but let's say like you just want to quickly like let's add a comment and I'm just going to fire off some pictures. And this is some weird thing in the basement that's dirty and I just don't know. I'm going to say something about it later. So I've got three pictures, I've got a blank comment. Now I can just flag it. And the flag, you can go review your flagged items later. So this will remind me to go back to those pictures, you know. So I do that. And it kind of, what's nice is it places the pictures where you want them. So, you know, you navigated to the basement, dumped a bunch of pictures in, and I use that little flag at the top to remind me before publish the report. If I use the flagging, it'll remind me to go back and find those. Is that close to what you were asking, Joe?
Sure. That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Cool. Yeah, so you don't have to even, it ideally you would navigate to the part of your report where you want it. So let's give one more example so everybody sees it. Let's say it's under the attic access. We could go there, come down, you hit add observation, you fire off a bunch of pictures. And then we go ahead and flag that comment. And you can even leave a note for yourself, which is really pretty cool. Don't forget to go do this and do that. And then, or if you're working as a team, your team member back in the office would see both the flag and that little review note. The review note that you see at the top would not publish in the report, so it wouldn't mess your report up. But like Jamie, for example, has people out in the field and he might be like reviewing stuff and you could help like write that for him, like, oh, I'll put that together for you. I've always thought this combo, this little workflow I just showed would be really cool when you're working as a team because the person out in the field might be able to handle. To me, there's always sort of every house has somewhere between 50 and 90% of the comments you can kind of get done on site. They're repeatable, simple, but there's always a 10 to 50% of weird stuff, and you could this would be a good technique to quickly capture the weird stuff and flag it, and then you can deal with it later. By the way, if you have a blank comment like this, you could always look through your library later. So you see the magnifying glass at the right, at the top. If you click on that magnifying glass, I could now search through, I'll type in hatch, for example, and now that's looking through my library for any comments about the attic access hatch, and then loose insulation. So I could go ahead and select that, and now that comment should be in there. And so, oh, it looks like it made a new comment. It's kind of interesting. Tim, shouldn't that have like put it in the same comment? I don't know if you're seeing that, Tim.
I had tabbed away for a second. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, that's interesting. So I would have thought I think this might be a newer bug that I've never noticed. But so I put pictures in. I have a blank comment. I can always go in here and write something. But if I wanted to add a comment here, typically I used to be able to hit the magnifying glass, do a search, find the hatch thing, right? And hatch attic access too small, right? Choose that. But before it would have given me a little check mark to add it and into that comment, and now it's making a new comment.
Yeah, that there was some recent changes there, and you're right. That needs a little more work.
Boom. Will you write that down to talk to
Yeah,
Jesse?
yeah, I'll put it back.
Thanks, man. This is also new-ish, and Jesse gets a lot of kudos for this one, but you can resequence your photos on mobile. You guys see that?
Love it.
Yeah, let's add a few more. I think this is actually a really cool feature for mobile.
That's awesome because I do a lot of resequencing them and I do it back on the computer. Now I can just do it right there.
That's right. Yeah, I love this feature. This was a good Jesse win, so thank
Hey,
you,
Dylan,
Jesse. Yeah.
how does that work? I saw the description, but didn't know what you pointed at or what you did to make
Yeah,
that
so let's do it again. Hey, John.
frequency working. Hey, good
Yeah,
evening.
so you open this up, and then if you just kind of push on this whole sequence of pictures at the bottom, I mean, I've kind of just pushed on it, and now I can move them around.
That's awesome.
So where you put your finger on it and hold it and then drag it?
Yeah, you just kind of put your finger on it.
Okay. And I just drag it to where I want it.
Yeah, or I think you hit those little arrow buttons, and it'll move them
I see.
around.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep.
Dylan, go back to your search feature. I was messing with it on my mobile, and it does give you a choice on where to insert it. So that might just
Oh,
be a thing on your phone.
it might be a beta thing like that because it's like the first time it's ever done that. So I think something must be new on beta. So thanks for checking that, Jamie. I appreciate it, man. We'll make sure before it gets released, hopefully we can catch that before it goes out to the wide world. This is also really cool, but if you look at these, see how I have all these pictures, or all these comments. So I've got 3 different comments here. See the camera emoji that's in each comment? You guys see that? You can click on that and just take a picture that way.
Yeah, that's
Click,
cool.
click. So now I can add the pictures directly to the comment. Now I'll go to the next one, the green one. I'm going to click on the camera emoji, click, click, and I got those pictures. So it's actually a pretty neat workflow where you can basically pull up a whole bunch of comments and then quickly dump all your pictures in. Everybody with me what I'm doing there? You see the little camera emoji on those? Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I actually I use that some. I don't use that a ton, but I like that. Oh, I know I wanted to show you one other workflow. This is freaking great on mobile. I absolutely love this. Everybody having fun?
Oh yeah.
I sense a lot of silence while everybody's like fiddling with the apps and stuff. But
A lot of good
okay,
stuff.
so close your eyes. You're doing an inspection. You're on the outside of the building, right? And what do you find on every single job where I am? The trees are too close to the house, right? So I go under trees too close to building. See, there's an orange one. Yes, prune trees off the house. So I'm going to long press on that. I open up the comment. I'm going to click on my camera and I'm going to take a couple pictures. And okay, cool. So I'm done, right? I've got the trees too close to the house. Now I'm moving on. I'm somewhere else. Let's say I'm on the deck and I'm reporting on the deck and I'm doing something. I'm not inside a comment. I'm in my deck section, but I'm not inside a comment. And there's another tree too close to the house. So I click on the picture, take a picture of the other tree too close to the house. So now what I'm going to do is click on the thumbnail at the bottom left. I click on that and I've got the ability to add to observation. Click on add to observation. Now I've got a list of every comment I've already put in the report. And there it is, tree and vegetation pruning. I can click on that and now apply the media.
Well, and to make it even quicker, if you long press it, if you know you want to put that in that comment. If you long press it, it's going to open it up right away. Then you just
Is that right? Like, so let me
well,
try that again.
try it again, Dylan. I think that would work. I haven't done it, but
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
long
it
press
doesn't
your
exist
photo,
yet, but long press on this and have it serve you right up to this add
and you
observation
hit
place.
add
That's brilliant.
observation. Yeah, right?
That would be
Another
super
second
cool.
saved.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, that's really awesome. Where this gets really
Run
powerful,
that by me. Run that again.
yeah. Let's start from the beginning. We'll do this again. So the idea is I've got a comment that I want to put more pictures in. I've already chosen the comment. I already have some pictures there maybe, but I see another instance of it, right? So now I can go ahead, take a picture, click on the thumbnail at the bottom left. Now I'm inside the picture. I've got add to observation. So I click add to observation, and now I can go find that there's tree pruning, and I can apply the media. And you can actually do it for a whole group of pictures if you want to. So let's say, you had a bunch of different pictures there. Let's take like now we got 3 pictures. I click on the thumbnails. I hit add to observation, and I could put them in some other place. I don't have this brings me to a place that I want to talk about here next, but okay, so now I added more. Everybody with me there? You guys see that workflow? Add to observation. It's incredibly powerful when you start thinking of your report in photo buckets. So photo buckets to me are kind of, I mean, it's just sort of like Scriber terminology a bit, but let me jump onto desktop for a minute. You guys want to talk about photo buckets?
Yes.
I don't think we have a choice, but yeah, go ahead.
I've hijacked it. All right, photo buckets. Let me get out of this report and I'll get into
Your
another
dime, your
one.
dance floor, Dylan.
Come on, you've waited your whole life to talk about photo buckets. All right. So this is a job I did the other day, 1960s house. We're gonna go into, I've got all this one from a weird house, but now I'm into my mobile media. I'm in my distribution and fixtures. So I've got a bunch of electrical stuff. Now my workflow, and these workflows really important, is in a 60s or earlier house when I kind of know I'm going to have a long electrical list, I often just take pictures and caption them. And I showed you that workflow of just long press and you can quickly caption a picture with voice to text. So we could talk about voice to text in a little bit, but anyway, so I've got all these captioned pictures and all I'm captioning is what and where. I'm not like writing a whole narrative. It's just what and where. So let me go through and like when they'll all just go into my gallery and then when I'm done, I can make a single comment. So I have one comment. This is a what we call an inspector only note. You see, it's in italics. I don't want the checkbox to show up in the report. I just built a shortcut so I can get my narrative quickly. So I click on this and boom, I get my comment. So I'm happy I've got this. To me is a photo bucket or a parent comment. And if let's read it, wiring repairs needed. A number of repairs are needed to the wiring system. Examples of specific observations noted during inspection include recommendation, hire Sparky to come out and fix it. Please also see other things in this electrical report or other electrical chapters of this report. And then this is a cool little gunny sack. Whenever this many items are noted, there could be other issues. I can make that go away if I want. I could double click on this and uncheck it. So that's a little gunny sack. We could talk more about that later. But so cool. I clicked one button and I got this general super vague comment. Now I'm going to go through my remaining pictures. I'm not going to use the GFI ones. We'll do that for something else. So I've got a bunch of Sparky's problems here. I'm not going to do panels. We'll do that with something else. But we've got missing cover plates and open junction boxes and all this kind of fun stuff, right? All right, so boom, there's my list. I dragged all those in. They're almost all captioned except where they're redundant. And now I put my cursor here and I hit the little button with the three dots on it, right? And so now I made my bulleted list. So if you're new to Scriber, this is the photo captions to bullets feature. I do not use this for everything. To me, it's just a workflow, and I think it's particularly well suited when you're dealing with multiple defects with the same system and when you're dealing with defects that are, to me, weird. And by
Right.
weird, I see Charlie's got a question. Hang on,
Yep.
let me just finish the thought, Charlie. By weird, what I mean is just a unique combination of what's wrong and where you found it, right? So I use this a lot for interior doors. And so it's like
Yeah.
the middle hinge on the third hallway bathroom door is loose. Like I
Right.
challenge you to have that comment pre-written in your template. Like it's just not possible. Like it's too specific. And so to me, the voice to text, there's no better way to get that kind of data. When I'm up on a roof, it's like, there's 6 shingles on the south face that have nail pops. Right. Like you
Right.
can't have that pre-written, and there's nothing better than voice to text. All right, Charlie, what were you going to
Yeah.
say, man?
Just the list is particularly useful if you're not sending pictures to the summary.
Correct. And I think that, Charlie, that might have been part of how we invented this originally, right? Is we were like, oh, we have all this good data in the captions, but it's not going to the summaries. How do we send it
Yeah.
to the summary? So I think that might have been the sort of light bulb moment that went off. But I do not send my pictures to the summary. And yet now I have this nice comment of reasons why I think they need an electrician. So from a report writing standpoint, I call this the art of being simultaneously vague and specific.
Right.
Which I think is actually really good report writing, right? I mean, you're kind of like, hey, you need an electrician. But it's kind of lame to say that and not back it up with a bunch of specifics. And this lets you kind of back it up with like, nah, here's 10 things that I found. And at a certain point, if you're doing a real fixer house, I'm kind of like geeky and I'll try to find every single thing I can find. And I've had some bulleted lists that are like a page long. But at a certain point, you could rest your case and sort of move on to the next system if you wanted. Um,
Dylan,
so
quick question.
yeah,
This is Brett. I'm newer to Scribeware.
welcome, Brett.
Thank you. When you were demonstrating earlier the long press, are you within an observation already, or where are you taking that from?
No, to me it works anywhere in my camera.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
interesting that you say that because Jamie was saying it was only working either inside a comment or outside or something. So if you guys are experiencing, if you can't get the long press to work anywhere, anytime you take a picture, then please use the submit feedback, and I could jump on mobile and show you guys where that is.
What's the easiest way to update the software on mobile?
There should
Make,
be,
make sure
Tim, do you know where that is?
You would do it through whatever app store, whatever operating system you have. Just do it as
yeah.
through the
Okay,
app store.
got it. Yep.
So
I
let
think
me
there is
just
an update button on the settings to check the
I think there
latest
is
version.
actually. If you go under settings, I'm inside. Let's go to home, or I should email you a client property information page and then home app settings. There it is. So the very top. and then check for updates, that little blue button or box.
Oh, there it is. Yep. No update is available. Got it. So
Okay.
that's really good.
So if you guys ever run into a bug on mobile, the thing to do here is slide the camera. See how the camera little thing slides here? So slide it
Yeah.
to the right and hit the exclamation point, and then let us know what's going on. This is
Okay.
incredibly important for us. Like, our goal is that the app works perfectly always for everybody on any device at all times, right? I mean, we really try so hard for that, but I can't tell you how complicated mobile is when we're running on all these different devices with different cameras and internet access and memories, and like I had no idea what we were getting into with all this, but here I am deep in it. But anyway, like what the guys, the Steve is brilliant. We pay a lot of money for this, and he built this thing so that it will send a 3-second screenshot of what you were doing, and it sends logs so the guys can be like, oh, I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, you have to send stuff multiple times to like capture what's going on. But it's such a, you're not talking to just a bot, and we're not guessing. Like, if you send feedback, we can like try to figure out what's going on and get it dealt with for you. So, and you can imagine we try to test the app. We have like, we're the proud owners of like 10 different devices, but at a certain point, we kind of need you guys. Like, there's too many different devices, too many variables of templates and things. So your feedback is appreciated. All right. Let's see. What else did I want to share?
Dylan, could you just go back and how you added the comments again?
Yeah, like on desktop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can you see my desktop again?
Yep, I got it.
Cool. All right. Let's go down to another comment. Let's do that GFIs that I wanted to do. So now in my electric receptacles and fixtures, and I've built all these in, so I could say that I tested all acceptable. And notice how as soon as I test all accessible, I get a little descriptive comment that says, this is really describing my limitations and testing procedures and what I use for tools. The electric receptacles were 3-wire, but I've got things for 2-wire or 2-wire and 3-wire. And then these orange things, I've linked narratives to this. So open grounds, like if you want to do the old individual comments thing, you can kind of do that. And I often do, especially if I only have a couple electrical problems. I'm less inclined to use that big electrical gunny sack. To me, is more for like when the house has a terrible electrical system and I just can't be bothered to sit there and have 6,000 individual comments.
Yeah.
It's just like, at a certain point, it's like, it doesn't matter what reverse polarity is. You need an electrician, right? And you can kind of like get out of that. The other thing I wanted to emphasize about photo captions to bullets is this technique for commercial is phenomenal, because commercial inspections, they don't care. You don't have to send them an illustration of like a long trap arm or whatever. What they need to know, they need a plumber, So anyway, okay. So, but so now we could say it was 3-wire. So here I did GFI protection, present and tested. This is one of my favorite comments, is inconsistent with modern standards.
Right.
So, and that automatically popped up the comment. Now, what's interesting is I forgot to connect something to it. So here's another one, the same comment, but this is what I actually want, is this little background comment to show up as well. And you can connect multiple things. So I could actually show you how we do that.
That would be great. I was having some trouble doing that. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. So up here, let's see if we can just do it like this. Connect to fields.
Yeah.
So you would go under the comment, you go under the 3 dots, and you connect to fields. And then this is the one I want to connect it to. GFCI protection, inconsistent with modern standards. So now I close. So now let's delete this, and we'll delete this, and delete that, and we'll delete this. And now when I hit inconsistent with modern standards, I get that comment and this comment. So you get a 2-for-1 there. Isn't that pretty cool? You can connect multiple narratives to the single thing. And again, how you do that is just the 3 dots. Now, you won't connect to fields will not be present if you have not saved the narrative to the library. So you have to save it to the library first. And then you also need to like check whatever it is you want to have it to connect to, because it won't see all these unless I check one of them. So that's how you do that. Okay, so now I've got this GFI comment. So now let's do, I just want to show you again, same kind of workflow, but now I'm going to get all my GFIs. There were basically no GFIs anywhere in this 60s house, which makes sense because it was 60s and nobody updated it. So now they're all here. I put my cursor there, I hit this button, and it's just such a nice way to do
Oh yeah, that's
locations.
great.
Now you see I did
Yeah.
bathrooms twice, so sometimes you got to be careful with that. And it doesn't matter really, but I might just go ahead and delete that one so that I just it's to me it's repetitious to have bathrooms twice. But anyway, I mean that was all done with voice to text, but it's a nice clear comment here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Tim, will you monitor the chat? Let's see, Bobby. All right, we got Bobby on here. Cool. Right on. All right, I think we're good. Okay, so we're having fun here. Let me X out of that. So the other thing I want to show you guys is the this electrical tag. So you see that I've got this electrical yellow tag. So let's go ahead and publish this report. So we'll go up to client and property information. You don't really have to be there, but I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to publish without sending an email, which is my only choice because I don't have an email in there. So now I can hide and just make that go away. The report is generating down here. So it's building, it's talking to the servers, it's making an HTML report. I can now click that report open.
Stop.
What's that? Stop? Oops, where'd it go? There it is. All right, so now we got this report. So I am using some CSS for my report. So like the color overlay is kind of different. These buttons look a little different. One of my favorite features of the CSS I use is I've got this like cool wrap around my comments. So we have a lot of this available to everybody in our directions. So before we leave, I'll show you where those directions are, but that's just if you're into fiddling with this stuff. It's actually, I'm not very tech savvy and this stuff's not that hard. Tim's really good at it. If you want to, we can help you to some degree with this. But anyway, that's sort of if you're interested why the report looks like it does. So, but what I was trying to get at is electrical items. So this is so cool. I made my own summary of just electrical and plumbing, and I really didn't need to do anything. I got everything tagged ahead of time. So if I go under electrical items, now I've got a list of all this electrical stuff, and it's its own URL. So I can go ahead and copy this and send it to Sparky. We've got it could be its own PDF. So I really think this thing is brilliant, especially if you do ancillary services. You could, for example, have your sewer scope down here. You could have your chimney scan, your radon report. I mean, all of these things could be individual little summary pages that what's nice is you can do all the work from a single template and it's both included and separate, if that makes sense. So I just think it's really clean. And again, separate by way of like, I can click on that and now I'm out of the main report and I'm into just this little plumbing list, and then I can return to the complete report. So I think the guys really get a lot of kudos for this. I think this is really neat. So how you set that up, you guys want to show you how you set that up? We've done this before, but we've got some new people on here. So if you go under settings and tags, the tags we could do like maybe next session we could do a whole thing on tags, but let's just go over the electrical for now. So here's my electrical tag. Where you hit add tag is how you make the tag. I used a little emoji with the lightning bolt. When you add a tag, you can like choose a color and give it a name and stuff. I call this electrical items is the name of the group. In this case, I wanted inspector only. I didn't really need the client to see in the report that this was an electrical item. My goal was to just make a summary page. So down here with these buttons are important. I wanted to be able to save this with the library entry. And that's what made it no work for me is I could go into my electrical library and tag every single comment with the electrical tag. And now I don't have to keep fiddling with it. I wanted to create a summary page of just these items, and I want to attach this to all templates. So those are kind of this one you wouldn't necessarily need, but these first two you would need in order to get that separate little summary page. So then you have the ability to go into, let's see, you can create boilerplate that will attach to it. So that's what's kind of neat. So let's go look at that report again real quick. And if we go under electrical, this is actually boilerplate. The following items have been taken from the complete report to provide a concise list of electrical items. So where you build that is actually in the boilerplate language. So if we click on this, you can see I've got tons of boilerplate. And let's go to electrical. The following items have been taken. So that's it. So that's, you can basically choose a little boilerplate that sets the stage of kind of like, here's this special summary I built. Here's your sewer scope. Here's your radon information, whatever you're kind of doing there. That makes sense, everybody? I mean, I know this is kind of intense, but like this is really cool functionality where you can like build your own summary pages in and deliver your own individual reports within a main report, you know. Lots of quiet. It sounds like I just served dessert. You know, when everyone's talking and you serve dessert and then the dining room gets really quiet. Everybody starts eating. Oh. All right, so that's how I set that tag. All right, I've been on a roll. Does anybody have questions on anything? You guys want to go over anything?
Dylan, I got one question if you don't mind.
Yeah, shoot, Mo.
Sorry. So under the electrical tag that you did, how do you specify the item in your report to link to that tag?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I forgot to go to that part. All right. So watch what happens if I go into my electrical system. I have untagged this one because I didn't really need this background information, but I could tag it. No permits found. There's my electrical tag. It's just automatically there. So how did I do that? So let's go under the library tab. You guys see the library tab in the middle up here? Or in the middle of desktop, right at the top, you got library.
Yes.
So we'll go under that, and then let's choose a chapter where I might find a lot of electrical stuff like electrical service. So now I've got every single comment in my electrical service chapter is all here. So if I click on this little box, then I get these little tools. And now I can go ahead and check on, hey, Tim, can you help on that? Thanks, man. So now we'll just hit the tag and I can choose the tag. Like you can see it's already kind of chosen here, but you would choose your tag and hit OK. And then it would go through and it just tagged every single thing. So what you do have to go through and do is kind of read them and make sure, you know, there might be some, like I said, I felt like I didn't need the permits going to the electrical summary necessarily. So I untagged that one. And how you can tag it or untag it individually is just from here, right? I could go, and click on the electrical items, and now it's tagged. And if I hit update library, I'm not going to save the media with it, but it would still save that electrical tag. Or I could untag it and update the library. I'm not going to save the media, and now that tag is gone. So that's how you could individually. So like my first week when once I tagged everything, my first few jobs, I kind of untagged some stuff that I was like, I don't think I need to send some of the, I don't know, to me, some of the CYA information didn't really need to go to my electrical summary. I kind of wanted it more repair items, you know. Is that helpful, Mo?
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
I apologize about the background noise. That was me. I'm on the train right now.
No problem, man. Great question. I'm sorry I didn't bring it all the way through. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Cool. So that's kind of how I did it. So one of the things that I thought tags could be really effective for that I have not done yet because I've kind of just been too busy, but safety items is a really interesting kind of modifier. I mean, it comes up a lot. A lot of people like to use safety. You know, these are my modifiers that I use, like major concern, repair, recommended maintenance, incomplete, or improve or upgrade. So these are kind of like my wheelhouse of them. And the thing that I don't like about safety for me is it kind of messes up my logic and my rating system for my findings, because a major concern could be a safety item, a repair item could be a safety item, a maintenance item could be a safety item, and an incomplete item could be a safety item, and an improvement item could be a safety item. So it's like this is Charlie Buell. If you ever look at one of his reports on our website, we have a sample, but he actually created all these little sub modifiers using a gunny sack, which I thought was kind of brilliant. Because the truth is, you can get a lot of things that apply, but I try to distinguish to me, what's a big deal and what's a regular repair and what's maintenance. But anyway, I've thought that tagging would work nicely for safety, because you could then apply it to any of those things. So I have not done that yet, because that's a much more difficult one to globally apply to your template, right? Because you'd
Yeah,
have to
they're
like
kind of
comb,
spread all over the place.
it's spread all over the place. It's
Yeah.
like blown up into like every section. So
Yeah, I'm
that's a
thinking of this too. I'm trying to wrap my head around it right now. I love it though, Dylan, because I have the same trouble with
yeah,
is a rickety staircase a safety item or is it a repair?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, safety is a hard one for me. I think it's kind of important, and I've just never really done it because it just never fit cleanly into anything. And so I could do it, but it would be a lot of work to comb through my template and
I
identify
know. I
what's a
know.
safety item and what isn't. And so I haven't had the temerity to do it. I'm too scared,
Right.
you
Right.
know. But
I would like to though. I like that idea because I just recently added a safety modifier and I'm just then once I added it, I came to the same conclusion that you came to that well, what is it? Is it a major item? Is it a repair? Is it an improvement? Is it a safety?
yep.
So
It's hard, I know. I mean, so
yeah.
I kind of just avoid safety altogether, and I write it up in the comment if it's a safety item. But
Yeah, that's what I've always done. I probably ought to go back to doing it.
yeah, yeah, cool. So that's sort of a little dive into tags. I think the flow of this meeting went well, where we started simple and got into the weeds. But does anybody else have any other questions I can help with? I mean, we could just do some uh, round table open discussions on stuff. Another thing we have done in the past is I've logged into people's accounts and like fixed sections and stuff for them. And if you're ever interested in being like a guinea pig in a meeting, I'm happy to like play around in your template. I did a meeting the other day with a team from Australia that's doing like Legionnaires inspections, and I don't know, like that kind of stuff's actually really fun to like build weird stuff into templates. It's like a really interesting challenge. I was working with somebody today trying to help them figure out how to build a pool template. But those sorts of real world, oh, I know what I could tell you about too. I've been working with a guy from Kauai who has a job doing like 56 cabins.
Oh
And
yeah.
so we actually came up with the idea, was my idea, but I've done it before, is creating a template. I wonder if I started one here. For commercial work, you could create a template that, let me just start a blank report. No, I think I can get the idea across to you. So we could start a blank template here and go into blank chapter. This could be like units 1 through 10, right? And this could be like unit 1. And then we can come here, we can copy section, and it could be unit 2. We could do blank section. So it's kind of the same thing. Unit 3. Okay, you get the idea. And then within each one of these, we could write a little comment. We could make it a no modifier, unit number 1. And then down here, we could be like overall condition, roof, siding condition. Right. And we could give them a grade, overall condition. Like we could make a little gunny sack here. So this could be you know, great, medium, poor. Terrible rating system, but you get the idea. I'll do one more just to get the All right, so now we've got this little quick gunny sack, right? And we could make this bold and blue. Now we could drag a picture of the house in, and we could have the link right up here. So you could publish an inspection report, right? And you could grab that published link. Let's go grab a link. Like this is this one we were playing around with, right? This is just the electrical items, but we'll copy that link. Now we'll go in here and we could hit this unit number 1 link and we could paste that in.
Oh.
And now you create, if you do have 56 units, you've created a master template that's got a link to every unit. But you've got this summary where you could be like, all right, overall it's in great shape and the roof's in medium condition. And you could quickly like give it a grade with a cover picture and a link
What
to
you're
the full
saying is
report.
each unit would have its own report,
Mm-hmm.
freestanding, and then this would be the master report. I love
Correct.
it.
That would
I
hold
love it.
all of them. So now you
So
could
this
could
is a great
deliver to the
executive
client
summary.
a single report that has 56 individual reports in it,
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's sick.
Give them the high level. That's awesome.
And all you'd really need to do for your master template is create a single gunny sacked comment that lets you name the unit and put a link in, and then give a kind of summary rating condition where you would just click on the gunny of the different systems you're rating to rate it. I know great, medium, and poor was pretty terrible, but I was trying to do it on the fly here. But you could, it could be like 0 to 2 years or 5 to 10 years, or I don't know. It is fraught with peril, the rating system you would use, but and you don't have to use a rating system. You could just put a cover picture and a link. But I thought it would be really cool to give them a quick look at like, how old the different systems are. I mean, that was, if I were an investor looking at all 56 units, I would want to be like, well, how many kitchens do I have to do?
Yeah, they
How
want
many,
high level anyways.
right? I mean, they just want this like big picture. And so I thought that like if you could get that to them, it quickly might be really advantageous. So this is an idea of kind of a master report. I want to torture Tim with some things that we might be able to do with tables on this, but that could come later. In the meantime, this is actually pretty cool and functional. So yeah, so neat for a commercial job. If you ever do like really repetitious job, you could think about building a master template and then having an inspection template that does each unit.
That would save so much time, and it would actually organize the inspector. I had a 4 unit that I dreaded because of there was, you could separate in the report, but it was just all bunched up together. But this way cleans it up really nicely.
Yeah, isn't it cool,
This
Mo?
would,
I mean, the other really neat thing about it is you could create then your on-site report could be very much photo captions and bullets. Just that level. You could, and what the guy did with this Kauai job is he actually built an addendum that was all the boilerplate, like, reverse polarities when the hot neutral is backwards or whatever, all that kind of stuff he built into just one addendum that was just like, all right, here's all the stuff in Hawaii that you should expect. There's not a proper foundation, and go move to the mainland if you want a real foundation. Like every panel there's rusted, right? Like, so it's interesting, but in his report, he has to set a lot of expectations for the way buildings are there because they're different than everywhere in the lower 48, right? So anyway, he built that into one master addendum. Because I looked at his report and I'm like, dude, if you repeat that every time and then you print out all 56 of these jobs, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, everyone's going to be reading the same thing over and over again. So the kind of epiphany here is that like with commercial work, I think you could have a on-site template that's very just photo captions driven, and then a master template that is like ratings driven, and then you kind of just link the details to the master report. Cool. All right. Pretty neat. Well, I'll let you know. I don't know whether that'll all come together, but I really wanted to, I was going to help him with that job, and I wanted to do it because I want to, the report is such an interesting thing. I kind of want to build it.
I want to fly over there and inspect it with him.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you just gave me an idea to create the master using the exterior and the basement on the master, if it's a shared exterior and a shared basement, and then the interior have that one as separate. A lot of the
That's brilliant, Mo. Yeah, yeah. I saw where you're going with it. Sorry, I should have interrupted. Keep going.
yeah, no, I think yeah, this I'm gonna be busy tonight. I don't think I'm gonna be going to sleep. I'm gonna be working on this tonight.
That's awesome, man. I love it. But we really, I
You,
hadn't thought about that. But for multifamily, you
yeah,
build a
you,
master template with all the common stuff, and then you just link all the interiors, and then you have an interior only template to just pound out all the interiors. It's freaking brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah, that hey, I'll build it out. I'll send it out to you
I
for
love
you
it.
to review,
Yeah.
and you know,
We'll put it up on our website, Mo. I want to see it. We need to get some samples of this. We're really trying to dive into commercial more, and this is a really cool way to start thinking about it. I love it.
yeah,
I should along those lines, guys. I'll show
no,
you
I'm sorry.
my commercial template. I think Joe, have you had any luck with my commercial template? Have you guys been? I think you did a couple with it, didn't you?
we're continuing to work on it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean it needs a lot of work. It's pretty, uh, a commercial template is like, I mean, God, a residential template's a nightmare. A commercial template's like a triple nightmare. I mean, it's a pretty tough thing. But I wanted to show
I
you. Let me
love
do.
that. I love that apartment idea there that Mo just had. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Send me stuff if you do it, Joe. I'd love to see it, man. Because I
So,
think
one question I had, you're just going and you would make individual reports then and go grab the regular report link, correct?
correct. So each
Yeah,
interior could be its own job, and you
right. So
publish
I
it,
could
and then
have
you grab the
you can
link and
have
paste it
right
into the master.
multiple guys running around banging out apartments with different reports for each, or maybe like we've had condo size kind of apartments that this would work great for.
You could have one person in the office that's just opening up the published reports, reviewing them to fill out kind of a summary for the master, and then linking
Yeah.
it, right?
Yep. So on the commercial, what's the status of Table Tim?
Haha.
Yeah, I'm
Poor
working on
Tim.
it. Yeah, I'm looking at my version right now has a tables tab on it, so it's being built right now. I've been working
I
on it all
love
day.
it. Nice
You
work.
rock,
That's
Tim.
great.
Tim has been an absolute dream to have on the team. It's awesome, Tim. Thank you for everything you do, and I'm super excited. We'll be getting there soon. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this. This gets close. Mo, you could look at this for what you're doing, and Joe has this, and I'm happy to share this template with you guys. It's not perfect by any stretch, but the idea here is like every single thing you would need for a unit is all in one section, not a chapter, a section. And so, because what I found in commercials, a drag, or even like big houses, is just you keep navigating all over the place and clicking around to put stuff. And so, here it's like, well, here's walls and ceilings. I can describe them. And if there's, I've got a few comments that I can use. The flooring, maybe it's carpet and there's concrete and polished concrete. And I could use one comment per unit. Their doors, and I tested them, and here's some fire door information, and here's some repairs. These little buttons are really cool. Like maybe there's 3 water heaters in a unit. I can just add them. So this becomes a very long section, right? I mean, it's like one section that holds an entire interior, but it's incredibly flexible, and the workflow will be pretty great because you're not bouncing around anywhere. You can like do whole units. The other thing that's really nice about it is I can use the copy section feature to then build a little map. So like, maybe this could be titled, first floor. And then this one I could just keep copying section, and it could be like unit 101, unit 102, unit 103. And so by having everything in one section, it's a nice way to kind of create, turn your template into kind of a map of the building, if that makes sense, like, because that can be such a challenge with commercial, I think. And I think the old residential way of doing a report where you have like a heating section and an electrical section, it's just really difficult to kind of deal with all the data in that way. So anyway, I appreciate anybody who wants to go out and give me feedback on this. It's kind of a work in progress. I've kind of gotten stalled a bit. Once the tables are done, I will kind of go back to work on this a bit. And frankly, like, I kind of need some commercial jobs to be using it, but you guys can all kick the tires on it as well if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you could share that with me, I would love to look at it.
Mo, I'll try to, if I forget, will you shoot me an email?
Yeah, not a problem.
I made a note to myself, but I have moments where I get completely overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have going on, so I could forget that. So, but I would love to have it. I'd love to get it to you, and I'd love your feedback, man. It's in no way is a finished product, but I also think it's kind of like, with a commercial template, my theory a little bit is that it needs to be not too deep because it has to be kind of a chameleon. I mean, it's got to be able to be molded to all these different situations. So you almost can't build too detailed a commercial template, or suddenly it's like stuck in one place, so
No,
Dylan,
but
can oh, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. All I was gonna say was, even my residential template, every time I do an inspection, I go back in and I modify that template, and then I
yeah,
go do another inspection and I find some other things I need to change or update. So it's always a work in progress. It's never, a perfect template from, so you just keep working
no.
on it.
That's right. It's just it'll go on forever. I wish Charlie, I don't think's on here anymore, but I should he somewhere on my computer he gave this great uh picture, sort of a cartoon of a guy like lifting his coffin sarcophagus lid open, and the caption is, "But wait, I'm not done with my report template yet." It's like be working on it into your grave. It'll never end. So but commercial is its own kind of torture because you just can't make it too specific, I think. But I don't know. Anyway, we could talk about that
Dylan,
more.
is there a way to copy one of your sections out of this into a different template?
I love that question. So let's say you had my commercial template and you were like, man, I want that interior unit. You just come up here and actually you need to copy the whole chapter. So you come up to the top and hit the three dots and you can copy interior unit number commercial to another report. So you click that and you can go like find
Yeah,
here's all my templates and
I
stuff.
have used that before. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because we got a mixture of a bunch of different weird commercial things, and then I get a new one from you, so I'm trying to move some stuff around.
Well, and yeah, like I said, man, your feedback is really welcome. I, I, I don't do enough commercial to get a great template at it, and you guys do a lot more of it. So keep me posted. And I mean, a lot of this is we got to keep kicking ideas around and like keep tweaking it, right? I mean, I think this idea we had today of the master template for multifamily is really brilliant.
We're trying to get the residential dialed first and then move back to commercial, so I don't have a ton of feedback for you yet.
Yeah, I understand. Yep. Um, Cool, guys. Well, any other questions or this was a fun meetup. Hopefully everybody got a little something. I love how Ed was able to like already do a new picture workflow.
So I have a question, but this is gonna have to be answered next time probably because it's gonna be a long one.
Okay.
But okay, so some of my sections, I have view common,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a list of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
How would I be able to convert the view common to actually, let's say, what's that, restroom? Yeah, up above. Let's just say restroom. How would I be able to move a comment from the view common and have it as a drop down choice for restroom, or do I have to?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I think what you're talking about, let's see what happens, but yeah, I don't have anything there. Let me get my interesting. This is a really good question, Mo, and I might not have the greatest answer for you. Um, So view common, you guys, the idea behind this is the system is designed to be smart and remember the comments that you use the most frequently and serve them up. And I have certainly experienced this at times when, uh, you know, uh, it really does work. Like I use this heat pump comment all the time, and so those are like right at the top. So it's the goal was like, let's serve up the 10 comments you use all the time automatically. So that's kind of the more you use the system, the more it's supposed to be smart. The view favorites is designed to be more manual so that you put those there. So how you get something in the favorites is here's a comment. I come up here and hit the heart button, and now that's available to me in the favorites. And so we could hit close. I could delete that. We could open it back up. This is actually a really fast way to add comments. I mean, it's pretty cool. So that's kind of how you can build the view favorites. So one part of your question, Mo, is like the view common can't really be manipulated to my knowledge. That's like an auto-generated thing. The view favorites you are in control of. The second part of your question that's interesting is if you were showing next to connected field value, how you would get it to show up with heating system, for example. So I don't think we've actually even bridged that. I don't think we've thought about it, you know. Tim's shaking his head as well. Like it's never really occurred to me. So they would always populate at the bottom of a section, Mo, and I can't think of a way that would connect them. So show next to connected field value is what I use for my descriptive modifiers, and that's what keeps it nestled up here. And let me go under settings and observation modifiers and go down to my descriptive one, which is right here. And this is the field you want, show next to connected field value. And what that does is if you connect a narrative to something like gas forced air furnace under here, then that narrative will be linked there. So in my template, I only use show next to connected field value for descriptive items. And the reason I do that for my residential template is that it kind of creates separation. My background information can be up at the top and my repair information can be on the bottom. And I think visually for the client, it looks good. It's easy to understand and read. So that's why I like it. But in my commercial template, I'm doing everything show next to connected field value. And that's kind of the big difference. If we go jump into that commercial template for a second, that's the big difference of how I was able to create one chapter or one section that just has everything in it. So like if you look at this in my residential way of doing things, every one of these would be a section. And it just makes my report really like it's just a lot harder to kind of manipulate and copy many of them. So by putting everything into a section, but everything is shown next to connected field value. So now my flooring is connected here. To me, once you go down this route, you would be wise to not plan on having too many different comments. In other words, you can roll a lot of comments. You know, you can see under flooring, I'm only getting older, flooring repairs needed.
That's
So
enough. That's enough for, well, I mean, you may want one or two more, but that's enough for commercial right there. And then
it is. I mean, I could add one
some
for like
caption pictures, right?
asbestos likely or something, right? I mean, you could add a few more, but
Yeah.
if you're using this technique, the idea is like, you know, you only have 4 or 5 comments and that you use these sort of gunny sacking approaching to handle most of it, you know?
Yeah. Photo captions to bullets.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Or a little mini gunny or something, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dylan, I'd be interested in working with this template. I only do a few commercial jobs a year, and I always struggle with the template.
Yeah. No, I'd be happy to share it with you. If again, I'll try to load it. And I mean, if anybody wants it, ideally would be to shoot me an email.
I will
And if
do
I
that.
don't get back to you, shoot me another email. But I want to get it to you. I just you know how it is. I get kind of overwhelmed at times, and
same
then
thing.
suddenly my kids want something, and I go do something else, and then I forget about
You're
it.
preaching to the choir. I
Yeah.
will try to remember to email you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Love it, guys. Well, I think we should wrap it up. It was an hour and a half of time well spent. Although my Sunday meetings, I like to end them with you've now wasted another perfectly good hour of your Sunday morning. So you've now wasted another perfectly good hour and a half of your Thursday. But I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here. It's a great meetup. We appreciate your support. Let us know what we can do to keep helping you write better reports more quickly. That's kind of our goal. It was so awesome to see Hugh on here from the UK, which is super great. And like Bobby, we got some newer scribers on here. Lee, welcome, man. Good to see you. So let us know if we can help, guys. We're standing by. Thanks for all your help, Tim. And we'll see you guys on the next Scriber meetup.